Hello, I'm BJ Arnett, and this is This Day with BJ Arnett. I'm just really excited to interview my next guest, Mr. Gary L. Jones. The reason I'm excited to interview him, he's not your normal average interview. The things that he's going to be speaking about may make you a bit uncomfortable, but they are life as is today. And unfortunately, there's topics and stories that we have to deal with, unfortunately. But we have an opportunity to make some changes in our lives and therefore making changes in others. And we're going to talk about making some changes, but we're going to start first things first with introducing Gary L. Jones. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
You know, I looked down at both of your books, one Straight Out of Hell.
Straight out of hell, wrong place, wrong time.
Straight Out of Hell, yeah. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. And this is the second edition.
Let me see. Second edition.
Yeah. Okay, a gun violence survivor story. And then the true character of a man.
Yes, that's when I was a lieutenant in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. As a matter of fact, I worked 6 prisons in 3 different states.
And reading your background, I thought to myself, what you must have seen. I have been one who has visited prisons and especially youth detention centers. Will break your heart. But when you talk to the young people in there, that's when your heart really gets broken. Because you hear the hardness, you hear the things that they've gone through, you see the results of our lack of taking action in that young person's life. But there's somebody before that young person that's in the federal prison.
Yes.
The older, the adult prisons. Talk to us about the true character of a man and what you saw then and what you see now.
Basically, the reason why I wrote that book, The True Character of a Man, I was a lieutenant in the Federal Bureau of Prisons in Tallahassee. As a matter of fact, that was my 6th prison I was working. I started off with the state of North Carolina. I started off with the state of Virginia, D.C. Department of Correction, even though they had a prison in Virginia. Then I went to the state of North Carolina. Then I went to Tallahassee, Florida. And the crux, the main reason I wrote that book is in July 1995, I was a senior lieutenant in the Federal Correction Institution in Tallahassee. And 3 months later, I found myself fighting in a riot.
In that prison?
No, what it was, I was a Special Operations Response Team lieutenant. We had received word that they were rioting in the Federal Correction Institution in Mariana. Also, we received word they were rioting in the Federal Correction Institution in Memphis.
Wow.
In California. And the reason why they were rioting is because the mandatory minimum sentencing drug laws and the unfairness that it brought. I think President Clinton was president at the time. Attorney General Janet Reno was Attorney General at the time. And what it was, Congress created the United States Sentencing Commission. And the United States Sentencing Commission are made up of judges to go out and study and see whether or not the laws was affecting minorities, African Americans, in a biased way. And they came back with overwhelming evidence that the brunt of the people who were getting the sentence was African Americans. So they decided, well, we're gonna make it fair. If whatever you get caught, if you get caught for crack cocaine, you could get, say for instance, you get caught for 5 grams of crack cocaine, you may get 1 sentence, and you get caught for 5 grams of powder cocaine. Basically, they were trying to make a uniformity.
Right.
Okay, Janet Reno suggested that we should bring drug treatment centers in because the population of inmates was just, too much to pay for. Okay, that was May of 1995. Okay, October 1995, the inmates was getting excited. They knew the laws were getting ready to change and a lot of them would be released.
Because when the law changed, the sentence reduces.
Right, and a lot of them could be retroactive. And it was excited. someone finally listened to them. Someone finally stated that they
Oh,
were
I
getting
see where
treated
this is
unfairly.
going, and it is not good.
No, it's not good. And
So their hopes
oh boy,
were raised
God knows
to believe that they were going to get out.
Yes, yes. Oh, and
When did it come down that they were not going to get out? Because I know that's it.
It was, I think, right after O.J. Simpson trial, when O.J. Simpson was found innocent.
Whose brain brought that timing?
I think it was right around October. O.J. Simpson was
Are
found.
you serious?
Yes, O.J. Simpson was found not guilty on October 3rd, 1995. I think the riots broke out, and October 18th they came. I think one of the congressmen came on TV and said, "No, we're not gonna change the laws." So that's when a lot of federal prisons were going up in smoke. Inmates started rioting. It was not a pretty sight. And so
that was a very sensitive, volatile time in the United States. I remember, again, I was teaching on a college campus, and the whole school stopped to hear the O.J. verdict.
Right.
And then when that verdict went down, people's reaction, even African Americans were saying, wait a minute, it was a volatile time.
Yes.
And then you have that to this?
And a lot of inmates thought that was the reason why
That was going to be my next statement.
Yeah, a lot of inmates
Because he didn't get in.
Right. The Congress decided, well, we're just going to keep the law just like it was. So I took a team in there to fight, following the riots. It was terrible. It was terrible. I can remember just like it was yesterday. It was not a pretty sight. A lot of inmates were getting hurt. A lot of inmates were getting hurt. Staff members was getting hurt. And I had to make a decision because I was in charge of this Special Operation Response Team, Lieutenant, whether or not we were going to shoot. It had gotten just that bad. Now, a lot of people on my team, Lieutenant Jones, just give us the word. I said, no, we don't just shoot that easily. So finally we got everything under control. And
without shooting.
Without shooting.
Wow.
But from the rest of my career, it was very tense. Very, very tense. Because see, now, the inmates, they had hope. Now they don't have hope. They don't have to respect you. I'm not getting out.
Right.
A lot of them was in there for nonviolence offense. They were getting 1, 2, 3 life sentencing. And,
for a nonviolent offense.
And not only that, in November 1st, 1987, Congress abolished parole, federal parole. So therefore,
if you were in a federal prison,
you got all this time. Now you don't have parole. So they definitely didn't have any reason to.
Is that across the country? You do?
In the federal system, at that particular time, back in 87, 88, 1990, the states had parole.
But not the federal
Not the federal. Now, if you got incarcerated prior to November 1st, you fell up on the old system, so you got parole. But after November 1st, 1987, they abolished parole. And that's basically what that book was about. And so I was advocating. I have an organization called Advocate for Justice. So when I used to go on Capitol Hill after I retired, I used to go to Congress, sit on panels, and tell them what I experienced. And only thing I was advocating for, once you bring back the parole in the federal system, this would give inmates hope that one day they may be able to get out, and it never happened. And so,
so still today, in the federal prison,
they don't have.
There is no
parole.
I did not know that.
Yeah, when you say you didn't know that,
I'm one of many.
No. The people that's supposed to know
don't know.
No. Congress didn't know. They used to stand me in there. Yes, we do have parole. I said, sir, why don't you just look it up? I spoke to many of them. Why don't you look it up for yourself? I'm just asking you to sign off on a bill to bring back, Danny Davis from Chicago, Congressman Danny Davis, he introduced a bill to bring back federal parole in the federal system. It never passed. He also introduced a bill, the Second Chance Act.
Yes.
Giving them a second chance at life. But you can introduce something, but if you don't have the funding,
it'll sit.
It'll sit. And then not only that, you can introduce something, and if you do get the funding, and if it's not in the right hand, the money go to waste.
Right now I'm stuck on this book because of a system that is obviously broken refuses to fix.
Well, check this out, though. Since you said that, when President Barack Obama came into office, he came up with the first, I think the first Sentencing Act, 2010. So a lot of people did get out. They didn't bring back federal parole, but they reduced their sentencing. They brought their crack and powder cocaine. Now it's like 18-to-1, the ratio. It was 500-to-1 ratio.
Wow.
Meaning that, okay, if you have 500 grams of powder cocaine at the time, that was like $50,000 street value. And the only way you be able to get, if you have 5 grams of crack cocaine, you automatically get 5 years of federal prison. The only way you can be able to get those same 5 years of federal prison, you have to have 500 grams, which is 50,000 compared to 500. So, you know, now the ratio is broken down to 18-to-1 because President Obama and Mr. Holder got that into place, and it looked like Jeff Sessions getting ready to reverse everything that was already put into place.
There's so much. When you began to peel back the layers of the system, because I can't say to that justice system. I mean, the system. We are looking at a system that is broken. And there are so many people that have identified the broken areas. For change not to occur and violence to erupt the way that it has is absolutely ridiculous.
You know, I met the person that wrote those laws. This guy named Eric Sterling. He and I, when I used to go to Washington, D.C., you know, I asked him what happened. He said, well, I wrote the laws, but, you know, the judges supposed to be coming in, giving their impact. So many different people have been getting their impact. And, you know, I know we don't have much time, but in 1986, Lynn Bias used to play the Boston Celtics, where he got drafted. He died of a cocaine overdose. It was an election year. Tip O'Neill, I think he was Speaker of the House, decided, well, we need to get tough on crime. So they just threw a bill together. And Lord knows, not only that, when President Clinton signed off on the 3 strike laws, the population just went up. And so I try not to get too political. I just try to tell the truth.
Woo, this is a powder keg. Here are the things that popped into my mind. One, we're at a state in this country where the sensitivity is at a height that is only compared to the 60s. We are at a place that if we don't recognize what has occurred, admit it, and change, we stand to reduce these United States to anarchy. Because the only way at this point that change will occur that is significant is if that the people turn away from the system totally that is not working.
That's true.
And the other word for that is a revolution.
Yeah,
that
revolution.
is ugly.
But you know the ugly thing about it, because I worked at 6 different prisons, you know how many things we make inside those prisons?
Oh, the business of it all?
Yeah, the business of it. You know, you're not the, change, you know, it's all about business.
It's business. It's business. Now, that is a whole nother subject that most of the American public has no clue of. I want to thank you for your time. You are a bevy of information, and I know we will have you back. Gary L. Jones, what is your website, sir?
Advocate, 4, justice.org. Numerica Advocate, www.advocate, Numerica4justice.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
God bless.